My name's Richard McKyton. I'm an attorney here in St. Petersburg, Florida. I practice in two very specific areas. One is personal injury, the other is criminal defense. And I tell everybody it's exactly what it sounds like. The people that I represent in personal injury situations are victims of car accidents, victims of slip and fall situations, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, and a new thing we've seen, a lot of lithium-ion battery injuries. One of my areas of practice involves product liability. And what does that mean? Well, basically what it means is if some sort of a company here in the United States builds some sort of product or manufactures a product, and that product causes injury to people, they can be held responsible for the dangerous impacts of that particular product. And that really comes about in a couple of different areas. One way you can prove product liability is if the company has a design defect in their product. And what does that mean? It means they've made a product that has some sort of portion of it that is inherently dangerous. And more importantly, it's dangerous, they're making it in a dangerous fashion, and there's a better alternative, a safer alternative. Another way to prove product liability relates to manufacturing. Let's say a particular company is making the best widgets on the planet. They can make really good widgets. They have a really good design for it, but there's some sort of a problem in their manufacturing. The way they are using or implementing their design is yielding or giving us a product that has some sort of a danger in it. Again, if they're doing that, if they're manufacturing something that is dangerous and there's a better way to make that manufacturing work, well, that company can be held responsible for any damage or injury that's caused because of that defect in manufacturing. Those are the first two ways you can prove product liability here in the state of Florida. A third way relates to warning labels. Let me give you an example. If a company is making what can be an inherently dangerous product, but there isn't a design defect, they're making it as safe as the current technology allows them to make it. Okay. And let's say they're manufacturing as well as possible. There's no better way to manufacture that product, and there's no better way to design that product currently. It's as safe as you can make it. Let me give you an example, and this is an example that I deal with all the time. Lithium-ion batteries. They can be extremely dangerous. One of the things I want to talk about with these things is I've mentioned how they need to have warning labels on them that specifically tell people how dangerous they can be with saltwater exposure or water exposure. But the other thing that really needs to be explained to people is what do you do with an individual battery pack like this, and let's say there's accidental exposure to salt water. Look, a lot of these bikes that use batteries like this are marketed to be used near the beach, on boating trips, on boat docks. It's a normal place, a normal environment perhaps to use a bike. It might be near the water. If you're going to be near salt water, there's a very good chance that you're going to get exposed to salt water and the dangers that salt water can cause with these things. So what the pack manufacturers, and more importantly, the bike manufacturers and scooter manufacturers need to do is warn of that danger, but they also need to warn that if your battery pack is exposed to salt water, this is what you do with it. You don't store it, you don't charge it, you don't ever use it again, you get rid of it. You call your local government officials, your local county government officials should have some sort of a unit or office that can deal with taking care of these batteries, taking it away from you and disposing of them.